There's an old saying, you're only as good as your second serve. You really need to develop a solid second serve so that you're confident you're not going to double fault. The swing speed on the second serve should be as close as possible to the first serve. Actually, many top players swing faster on the second serve, but more energy is put into the spin. Remember, spin equals control. When you get that ball spinning forward, you can safely clear the net and still pull the ball down into the box. If your second serve is going long, you just need to swing more vertical. Just go up more. This will produce more spin. The more spin you have, the more air pressure you create on top of the ball, so it pushes the ball back down. But a good, solid second serve is essential to your game. How high should the toss be? Approximately 27 inches out of your outstretched hand, the length of a racket. To the peak of your reach, in other words. There's a common myth that you need a high toss to hit your serve well. And in reality, though, a high toss makes it more difficult. When you toss the ball just to the peak of your reach, the ball is in your hitting zone 10 times longer. There are many top players today that toss the ball really higher than they have to, but they have great timing. But on the other hand, there's also many players today and in the past that have tossed the ball just to the peak of their reach and have had great success. Times when players are having trouble with their serve and they're hitting the ball in the net, their friend on the sideline says, toss the ball higher, as if it's a cure-all for everything. But in actuality, you're making it more difficult for yourself when you toss the ball higher. As an example, say this is as high up as you can reach. If you toss the ball up out of your reach, now you have to wait for the ball to come down, which can slow down your swing, number one. Now the ball stops for a millisecond in midair and starts to drop at the rate of gravity. As it's dropping, it's picking up speed. Now here's your hitting zone. Now as the ball's dropping, remember it's picking up speed, so it's going fast through your hitting zone. On the other hand, if you toss just to the peak of your reach, the ball stops in midair for that millisecond and starts to drop at the rate of gravity. But it's dropping slower here. And remember, this is a good place to hit the serve in the upper half of the racket. But remember, on a toss just to the peak of your reach, you have 10 times more time to hit the ball. Remember that. It seems like you're getting more time on a high toss, but you're not, because the ball's dropping through your hitting zone faster. The topspin serve, this serve is a must if you're going to be consistent serving. This serve enables you to clear the net by 2 to 4 feet to get the ball safely up over the net and then to pull it back down into the service box. Topspin is what helps you do that. Remember, once you get the ball spinning forward, it creates air pressure on top of the ball, so it's always pushing the ball back down. Now think about it. When you hit topspin on a forehand, let's say, your racket starts below the ball, you're swinging from low to high, and you're brushing up the backside of the ball. You're hitting basically the equator of the ball, that imaginary line around the center of the ball, and you're brushing up. That imparts the topspin or the forward spin. Now with the serve, you're doing the same thing. I'm just going to flip the racket this way. Now the racket, again, we're moving from low to high, but the racket is brushing up. You're almost going straight up to the sky when you hit this serve. Now imagine the ball again like a clock. We've got 12 o'clock here, 6 o'clock here. On a topspin serve, you might hit the ball, say you're going to hit it at 7 o'clock and brush to 1. That will impart that forward spin that will enable you to clear the net by 2 to 4 feet and still pull the ball safely back down into the box. A great drill to practice this is to hold the ball in one hand like this, just using your racket like this, and just practice this. This will give you the idea of the wrist movement on this serve. Now when you do this, you can just let it roll on your hand and then just snap the wrist up towards the sky. So you're going to make contact with the ball, with the racket in this position, and you're going up. So that imparts the forward spin to the ball. But a topspin serve is essential if you're going to be consistent serving. Notice on the topspin serve how the toss is slightly over the head and the racket is moving up vertically, brushing from 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Topspin makes the ball kick up. Topspin serve can be used effectively against a player who doesn't like a high bouncing ball. Once again, the topspin serve. Notice how the ball kicks up to a right-hander's backhand side. Usually when serves are going in the net, it's that old common myth. Again, players think they can hit down. Remember, you've got to be 7 feet 6 inches tall to actually hit down on a serve. So remember, we want to think up and out. Think of the racket vertical when you hit, not down. So we want to concentrate on 1 or 2 things. Right now, I'm going to hit a few serves and I'm concentrating on up and out and keeping my head up. Okay, here we go. I'm thinking up and out and I'm trying to keep my head up. Remember, if the head drops too soon, this is going to cause the racket to do this and you'll also hit in the net. So I'm thinking up and out and keep my head up. Okay, I'll try that again. I'm thinking up and out, keeping the head up. One more time. This is a good idea when you're practicing. Let those things go through your mind as you're practicing. Up and out, keep the head up. That's up and out, keep the head up. You got 7 words there that are going through your mind as you're hitting your serve. Here we go. Up and out, keep the head up. And that's the idea. That's going to prevent the ball from going in the net. Another thing is that players sometimes drop the toss arm too soon. They'll be here, and if the toss arm drops too quickly, it causes the upper body to drop and the head to drop. So now we're going to think of a couple of other things. Remember, never think of more than 2. So let's say we're thinking about toss arm up and hold it for 1 beat. So toss arm up, 1 beat is what I'm thinking about now. So we've got toss arm up, 1 beat, only 5 words. Here we go. Toss arm up and hold it for 1 beat. I want to keep that arm up for 1 beat. Here we go. Toss arm up and hold it for 1 beat. That's the idea. Toss arm up, 1 beat. That's the idea. Keep that arm up. That prevents the head and the upper body from dropping too soon. Let me try one more. I want to make sure I keep that toss arm up there for 1 beat. That was a little better. Okay, so that toss arm, I toss just to the peak, so that arm's got to come down quick. But that toss arm staying up will prevent the ball from going in the net. So work on those suggestions and it'll prevent the ball from going in the net.